Hello and welcome to my twin flame journey. I am Shine, and this is going to be the daily drama for Tuesday, 24th. I always get confused in the days. Here we have what is the current challenge for the masculine, current challenge for the feminine, advice for the masculine, advice for the feminine, advice for them both, and then how the masculine can get through their challenge, how the feminine can get through their challenge. Now, first it came out the lesson, talent, wealth, confusion, gain, generosity. So the challenge could be, figuring out a way to express the lessons that have been learned, figuring out a way to get some money, being confused on how to proceed with both, because you got gain, moving forward in order to, extend an offer that they're wanting to give. And then I went, to each one. Well, why the lesson? And then those came out. Why talent? And those came out. So then that's how we're going to read it now. So with the lesson is like, well, why is the lesson a challenge? And then we have destruction. So this is kind of like the tower, or like an unfortunate event, or needing to end something, or looking for forgiveness because of the way things ended, which was what the lesson was about. And then for talent, trying to figure out a way how to express, this wanting forgiveness and feeling that they're, unhappy with the way things ended. And you have talent, and then you have loss, which again is, losing someone, or realizing what you've had once you've lost it. And judgment, this is needing to make a judgment, needing to choose a path, or needing to find a way to express this so that you can have a reunion. Or figuring out a way how to express again how you've realized what you've lost and that you made the wrong judgment. And now you're trying to change that. And then for wealth, so why is wealth a challenge? That could just mean, to have everything happen the way you want, like to have wealth in the situation. Abundance there's no faith in either you feeling like there's no faith in this person forgiving you, and you're frustrated because you're lacking the faith, or you don't have faith that friends will help you with some money, to move, and it's a battle, it's a challenge for you, figuring out a way to get some possible help so that you can, reunite or make this effort that you're wanting to make. And then the confusion, you're unsure how to make this manifest. And so why confusion is, this is the lovers. It's like, again, how to make this relationship manifest, or trying to decide what to do, how to make this come together. Because of what's happened here, you got scandal. And then the master. So this is either you were, a little domineering, or you could have been, say a little abusive, But abuse can fall in many ways, or this is needing you, you know, that's why the scandal's there. I'm not sure what kind of relationship that this was. But obviously, if there's lies and deception and codependency and all that going on, it wasn't a walk in the park. This is you needing to master yourself so that you can have these conversations, so that you can have, you know, some clarity on how to proceed. And we got stop, look, and listen. This is like pay attention to the red flags, or something is like you trying to pay attention to ways that you can, or needing to pay attention to something here. We might clarify these. And then gain, this is like to move forward. Why is moving forward, you know, why gain? You got reconciliation. Why reconciliation? You got spiritual. Why spiritual? You got doubt. So this is either you know, the challenge is you, again, trying to figure a way how to move forward, to bring this relationship, reunion together, this spiritual union, you know, or perhaps, again, you're in karmic marriages, you're trying to figure your way out. This is all part of your challenge, and you're having doubts, you're worried, you're unsure, you're confused how to make this manifest. And then generosity. So this is you, you know, wanting to make an offer, but maybe fearing like, you know, you're starting to run out of time because it's been too long. And that's where your doubts come in. You don't know if you'll have success. That's why you're wondering if you should make your offer, because you're wondering if it's too late, if it'll be successful in regards to, you know, heartbreak, or you're fearing being hurt. You're fearing opening up because you feel like it's been too long. Because here you are, brown-haired man. So this could be you, again, fearing being hurt. Or you're needing to before time runs out. Because you have vulnerable and wisdom here. Generous, like sharing what you've learned in this lesson. Opening up. Saying how you feel hurt. Or that, you know, because you've lost this person. You know, expressing how you feel. Let us see. Destruction, you got Fortuna, to turn things around for the better, to turn the karmic wheel. Denari, this is, you know, value, something we value, or money. So on destruction, under lesson, you know, again, your challenge is to turn this around, you know, to gain that which you have value. I mean, to regain what you have lost that you value by asking for forgiveness. Alegría, this is to become light, or transformation, you know, to transcend something, or to change something. You know, this is change, loss, figuring out a way to regain what you've lost, to change things, to make a better judgment, figure out a way again how to express how you want things to change, because you feel the loss. And you've made a choice, you've made a judgment on what you want, which is to move forward and be with the feminine. Judgment, you got la fideltà, which is fidelity, faithfulness, loyalty, a relationship, and la conversación. So this is making a choice, having a conversation about a choice that you've made. This is the challenge, to have that conversation. Again, you're in your fears, or you're still doubtful, still uncertain, or some of you are. That's your challenge, to overcome that, to have that conversation. So again, the Wheel of Fortune can turn, the karmic wheel can turn. We can gain back what we've lost, or you hope to. Wealth, you got la reunion, which is relationship, reunion, la lettera, the love letter. Or this could also mean, this could also be, divorce papers, needing money to get a divorce. And that's could be another scenario you can throw in there. But this is with wealth, faith, friend, frustration, battle. I think this is more, you trying to express to the feminine your feelings. So that you can have this abundance, with the feminine. But you need to have faith. Confusion, you got viaggio, which could be travel. Again, people might need money to travel, or trying to figure out a way to move forward. This is like gain. And we got consolante sorpresa, which is the unexpected surprise, or something not working out the way that we really liked. So this is on the confusion. You're uncertain of how to progress, move forward. Because you're not sure if you'll get what you want, if things will work out kind of the way that you want. Again, it's because you've been fearful of opening up. Because again, it's probably because you've been taking so long. I'd be scared too. Stop, look, listen. You got the widower, someone who's regretful of the past. This is maybe they're telling you need to stop sitting in the woes, master thyself, handle this scandal, get out of your confusion, so that make your decision. This is your challenge to get out of these thoughts and take some action. Move forward. And not fearing things won't work out the way you want, unless you're not going to know unless you speak up. It's the only way you're going to get out of your frustrations. And if you've watched the weekly and the weekly for the singles, it's kind of like it's the same messages. Too much in the thoughts. You had all solar plexus chakra stuff. It's too much thought, not enough expression. You know, because you're waiting for the right time, or you're waiting for the right words, or you're waiting for the, if you're getting money, or you're waiting for, or you're still unsure, or whatever it is. They're saying, let all that go and just deliver the message. Have the conversation, because that's the first step. That is the first step to even know if you're gonna be able to get that out of the way. And then you can figure out all the rest. You know. Or, you know, what you should be doing is you should be getting out, if you're in a karmic situation, you should be getting out of that anyway, because you know that you shouldn't be there. So, but that's the whole nother thing. Regardless if you're going back to this one or not, if you're really committed to your spiritual growth and you're really committed to your whatever, then you would leave that situation regardless and work on yourself so that you'll be better in relationships, no matter who you're with. It's just as I tell the feminine, it isn't all just about this one person. Like, this stuff has to be dealt with. This stuff has to be healed. You can't just be playing ping pong, going back and forth without really addressing what's wrong with you, what needs to change in you. You know, but don't be afraid to do it, because it's the fear that's keeping you back. The Master, melancholia. Again, yeah, stop, look, and listen. Stop being in the woes, being in the regrets. Get out of the confusion. You know, if you've made a decision, at least express it, vocalize it, something. That's the first step. Gain reconciliation, spiritual doubt. Like, get out of your doubts so that you can have this reunion. Spiritual. You got being in despair and being distraught because you're not sure if you can make this happen. That's where the doubts, like, it's the same thing. Ah! Sorry. Giovine Fanciulla on spiritual. Yeah, you're the attraction to the feminine. You know, your struggle to move forward is because you're having doubts that you know you'll be forgiven, that she'll take you back. So you're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in your head, and you're not finding out. Some of you are. But this is your challenge to, like, get out of this. It's feeling defeated or feeling negative, thinking the worst. Generosity, you got speranza. This is to have hope. You need to have hope. This was going to flip on vulnerable. It was love. You know, you need to express your love. Share the wisdom that you've gained, brown-haired man. In regards to your heartbreak, express how you've been heartbroken that you've been separated. You know, don't put it out there, how you feel. You know, but your fears, again, are keeping you from doing that. And I told you, and the longer you wait, the worse you're going to make it. The more you're going to be even like this. Because it's been another day, or another week, or another month. So it's like, get it done, dude. Just do it, because you're kicking out all this negative stuff. And you're making yourself miserable. You're driving yourself bananas with these thoughts and these feelings. And the feminine's doing the same thing. Everybody's in the lowest. The feminine's not taking action and moving forward, and this one's not taking action and moving forward. It's like the two of you staring at each other and saying, I wish I could be with you. I wish I could be with you. And you're just looking at each other. And when you can, if you just, but not the feminine. This is the masculine's task. It's the masculine's turn. You've jumped through enough hoops. It's the masculine. This is part of his test of character, his test of will, his test of strength, his test in this lesson in school. This is part of his thing. So he has to overcome this. Fear, it comes from that wounding. This is a huge pivotal thing. That's why I made the video about the childhood wounds, because it's playing a huge part in this lesson. And to keep this from moving forward. It says, whenever you think you got the lesson, check and check again. Keep going back, because I bet you'll find that you haven't really got it and that you still need to work on it. You know, again, or realize one's role, or whatever it is that hasn't been addressed yet, that's keeping everybody in the lowest. Now, how the masculine, let me collect these here, because I might need them for the other side. The challenge again for the masculine is just to get out of one's own way. It was the challenge for the feminine too. It's hard to get out of your own way. And how the masculine can move through this challenge is paradox. Meet stardust. He is the convergence of opposites. He is the dark and the light. He is a magician that turns everything on its head, pawing at the paradox. He travels the galaxies with his best friends, free will and destiny. No one knows where one begins and the other ends. He sees the good in the evil and the evil in the good. Within every blessing, there is a tragedy, and within every tragedy, there is a blessing. We think we know what is what, but stardust throws everything into question. Let the paradox open up your thinking and our perspective. Or let the paradox open up our thinking and our perspective. Exactly. This is about free will and destiny. Making a choice. A choice that, as you've been getting the things with the lovers and stuff, that this is a huge choice that is going to impact you in a major way. It's pivotal, it's important, it's soul changing, it's life changing, it's course changing. And the longer you stay stagnant, the less likely you're going to have it. It's going to pass. It's going to just, you won't even have the option anymore. So this is why you need to buck up, you know, pull up your bootstraps, get your, you know, best jacket on, whatever you got to do, make your move, say what you got to say, get out of the lowest, you know, fight for yourself, fight for your life, fight for you, what you want, fight for your destiny. Fight for your soul's evolution. You know, this is your choice. It's free will and it's destiny. You're either going to get on your destiny or you're going to stay off the beaten path because you're on the wrong track. And again, too much weighing in, seeing the good and the evil and the evil and the good. Again, just back and forth on our thoughts. You know, well, if I do this, this will happen. Well, if I do that, that will happen. What if this and what if that? Like, but also understand that through all the rough times that you might have to go through to get to your destiny, it's all good. You know, there's good in the evil and there's evil in the good. Like, all is a lesson, all is part of the lesson, all is part of the journey. Take it all in stride. Take it all with grace. Hold your head up high. Like I says, pull up your bootstraps and get moving. You know, it's in the convergence of opposites, the yin and yang. That's the twin flames. One is kind of the darker one and one is the lighter one. And that's what the two of you, it's the convergence of that. It's the bringing of that back together. It's also the balancing that of that in oneself, so that you become balanced, so that you can make good choices, good decisions, so that you have that inner strength and determination. You know, you're all out of whack here with your energy. So look at the paradox. Widen your perspective. See things differently. See this differently. And then you have trust. Meet Safi. Trust begins as an agreement she makes with the flame in her heart. She agrees to let it guide her even when it beckons her deep into the night forest of the unknown. When she trusts, the darkness is illuminated and the forest sparkles with her heart light. She may not know exactly where the path leads, but she trusts the enchantment of the journey, born of intuition. What you truly seek awaits you. Trust yourself. Step into the forest and begin your wild quest towards the longings of your soul. Now, see, the universe is saying, trust and go for it. Don't deny yourself healing, happiness, freedom, you know. Don't keep yourself back. And then you have unconditional love. Meet Aiko. She is a soft being of pure love. She is a nest of comfort and compassion. She loves unconditionally and embraces fully without exception. She transmutes pain and failure into blessings and wisdom. When you feel vulnerable or self-doubting, she will engulf you in love and solace. She can see your supposed imperfections as mere beloved quirks. She salutes the true spirit in you. Love yourself as Aiko does, and let that love spread outward to your friends, family, and fellow human beings. Let go of judgments and love everyone just as they are. You know, this is also the masculine and the thing is all in his negative talk too. Not feeling good about himself, not feeling confident, you know, judging himself, feeling like, you know, again, the world is against him. Everybody else has it easier, and I always end up like this. It's all in the woes. You know, it's finding that spirit in you, finding that drive, that spark, you know, and forgive yourself, be easy on yourself, love yourself enough to do this. Transmute your pain and failure into blessings and wisdom. So you got to shift the perspective. And the universe's advice for you is a miracle. I trust in God to know the perfect solution to the situation. And grace. I am filled with the same beauty, poise, and divine perfection as all of God's other creations. So again, handle it all with grace. Hold your head up high. Find your confidence to speak your heart, to ask for help if you need help, to move your life forward out of stagnation and codependent relationships and negative karma. And the feminine, she had solitude, truth, a stranger, anxiety, deception, journey. So it's the feminine's challenge is to possibly go within herself, do some reflecting herself, figuring out some truths herself, or she's going to be reflecting on some truths that are coming into her from the masculine. And there's anxiety you know, around what's transpired here, you know, the lies and deception, and whether or not to forgive those, because the feminine had an issue with forgiveness. You know, it's just trying to figure out too how, you know, if she can forgive, you know, if the person comes back, would she go back, like how to make it, because you have journey here too. So she's probably wondering, well, how much has this person changed? You know, like she's trying to be wise herself because she's worried about possible future deceptions, you know, on the journey. And then we went down. Solitude, we had greed. We had greed, communication, challenge, love. So wondering what it is that she wants. Trying to figure out if she wants to go back to this. You know, because of the challenges in regards to loving this person. Because she's going to get some communication. And that's why you have truth, new beginnings, abundance, dark-haired woman. Because again, she's in her shadow self, in her fears and her stresses. Because you have new beginnings, abundance, dark-haired woman. Because somebody's coming in saying they want new beginnings. And the challenge is for you to want to take that chance, want to take that risk. So, you know, because you're unsure. Because of past stuff that's happened. That's why I said nothing can be swept under the rug. Things have to be discussed. Boundaries have to be set. Conditions have to be made. Like this, a plan has to be made. Not get all caught up in the woo-woo. Just get back together and not discuss things. Like why things were jacked up to begin with. What the two people's roles were. Like this needs to be clear. Or else you're going to find yourself just in another karmic cycle. And might end up even worse the next time around. But this is the feminine, you know, the challenge would be to get out of her fears. To want to have new beginnings. Because you got the stranger, surprise, secrets, because he's, you know, revealing some secrets about how he feels. And about possible deceptions, maybe some that you didn't even know of. And then you're stressing about it and you're wondering if you want to go back into this. Because you have anxiety, brown-haired woman, this is you, inspiration, wondering if you can be inspired to want to re-enter into this and take a leap of faith. And then you have deception, growth, happiness, fair gray-haired woman, this is you who's matured, and then sexual attraction. So your challenge would be to grow from this experience, you know, mature your understanding of all of this and yourself and what the roles were and how this all works, you know, to have a different perspective on this relationship to help you maybe forgive this person or not fear stuff happening again in the future, deceptions and so forth, and truly be able to, you know, transcend what happened here, releasing the pains of the past. But again, people have to have the conversations, people have to be clear, and people have to be genuine and sincere in their apologies and specific. What are they specifically apologizing for? Just to make sure that if you do that same thing again, you can't say you didn't know or whatever, because it's been discussed and it's been discussed and it's been cleared, and you can move forward with a little bit of, I know that's what the feminine needs from the masculine: clarity, truth. Like, you have to be specific so that there's no doubts that that behavior or that thing or whatever it was is not acceptable and it was hurtful. Don't ever do it again. Like, it needs to be clear. And then you have an understanding. And then from that understanding, you can proceed to build something again. Trust, because that's what's been broken. So, and that takes time, but that also takes, the person who did the do to try to instill some confidence in the person who's fearful of extending a hand, just as you're fearful of it. Because, whoever was the one that was really hurt in this relationship, they're the ones that are even more fearful of going back into this, despite what the cards say. Because we're in the 3D, So there needs to be some reassurance here. That's why I said there has to be very clear discussions had about what happened, why did it end, and make sure that everybody's on the same page. There's no room for error. So people are clear when they make the decision, do I want to or do I not? Because I know what I'm in for, kind of, You have a little bit more of a plan, or you feel more at ease, again, because masculine, you really need to come at it, from the right way. And you need to listen to what he says. He, she. Now you need to listen and try to be, again, look at it from a spiritual perspective, understanding your role. So if you understand your role and you forgive yourself, you can try to forgive the other person for their role. Because again, both people were operating, if you've learned the lesson, you were operating from a place that was immature, naive, all wrong. But because you went through the experience and you both learned from it and you're both clear on what you've learned, you're coming, it's a whole new thing now. And you're coming at it on a whole new level, a better one. So that's why the universe says too, try to ease up on the fear of repeating the past, because if you've truly learned the lesson, you're going to make an effort to not repeat it. So that's why they say, so don't project that, because it hasn't even happened yet. That's why it's important too not to sweep things under the rug, because that eases the fear. That makes people want to consider the long term, how to make this work. Because then you had journey, good news, power, home, and hope. So it's the challenge again is you having hope that things can be good. And they'll be, be able to reconcile your home. It's like to have think of a positive outcome, not a negative one. And same for this side, not fear the worst. Change the perspective. Power. Persevere. Now the challenge is to persevere, to have hope that things will be better. Again, it's to overcome the hesitancy that you might have. But you need some reassurance. And if you haven't heard anything yet, you sure haven't, there's no reassurance. You know, I like Spirit to flip it. So you might have to wait a few seconds. There you go. The Stranger, Fortuna, things turning around for the better. Letting the wheel turn. That means releasing. Releasing the past. Both of you need to release the past, the regrets, the woes, the whatever, so that the new beginning can happen. But you got to get out of the fear. You got to get out of the fear. And most importantly, masculine, it's like you need to say something. That would help ease this person's, you know, it's this side that's really, but this side too, because they're not letting go. They're still sitting in their lowest and all of that, and they're not progressing forward, which also affects the energy. Because you can't sit around doing nothing, waiting for the other one to come back. It's like, that's not part of the lesson. Part of the lesson is independence. Being okay without the other person. Learning to develop our own self. So you're being stuck in your own way, and you're being stuck in your own way. And you're both being stuck from making this come together. Because it's still stuff you got to overcome within yourselves. So that you free up the energy. And it's fear. Fear of moving on. Fear of moving on. Fear of letting go. Fear of letting go. Letting go of the karmic situation because you're unsure of what's going on over here. You know, it's all the same. Fear of letting go the wounding because it's all we've known. Fear of stepping into, you know, a destined path of becoming more responsible within ourselves and our relationships. You know, it's like you have to, it's fearing change, transformation, even though it's for the better. It's making you stronger, more determined, having willpower and strength and determination and courage. This is the test. Are you going to pass the test? This is the moment. This is the test. Get the lesson. Forgive yourselves. Forgive each other. Heal. Speak. Get out of the fear. Get out of the wounding. Because now you know. Now you know where it comes from. So now you can really, you can address it. Like I says, and if you got to go to therapy, go to therapy. You know, as a person who went to school for psychology, it's like they recommend you get your own therapist. And I had my own therapist. I had my own therapist last year when I went through my dark. You know, I went through it. I had multiple things happen, like a domino effect, and I fell out. I became numb. It was trauma, repeated trauma. And I went through it for a few years, you know, with the cancer and all that stuff. So the floodgates opened for me last summer, and I had to totally disconnect. And I learned a lot being the hermit. I've been the hermit. And that's why being the hermit, I was able to then come and guide other people, just like the card says, just like the tarot was telling me to do. Had I not went within, I wouldn't have been guided to start watching readings again. I wouldn't have gotten the messages that I got it. I wouldn't have started on my spiritual stuff again. You know, so it all, like it says, everything happens for a reason. This is your time to do just that, to figure it all out. So that you can emerge like the phoenix. You know, you can transform. You can transcend this. You can shed this karma. And you can hopefully move on together on your journey. But again, it starts with you. It starts with you. It's a process, and it's hard. Like I says, I'm never preaching to nobody, because trust me, I feel it. I feel you. So, but be strong. Oh, and how you can move through your challenge is play. Meet Pippa of the Dream Circus. Some kitties come straight out of the imagination to remind us to play. Here is to a moment of dancing, twinkling toes, and laughter. Where most only see empty air, Pippa sees colorful tweeting birds doing a tantalizing minuet, and errant butterflies playing peekaboo, urging her to the chase. To play is to do something for the pure joy of doing. It is a frolicking mix of experimentation, curiosity, and absurdity. Where can you let more of Pippa's playful spirit and light-hearted air into your work and your life? I mean, we kind of addressed this in the singles. About you kind of just doing this, taking a yoga class, or learning a language, or just do something, try to become light. Because you were all in your woes too. In the singles, you both were. I'm going to show you, check those out. And you have vision. Meet Stargazer. Some say her head is in the clouds, but the view is better from up there. She can see the big picture beyond our normal sight. She can see beyond small increments of time to the vastness of years, decades, and even eternity. Take a step back and see your life through Stargazer's eyes. What visions do you have for your life? They might appear fuzzy or absent if you are afraid of the actions they are calling you to take. Acknowledge those fears. Then ask them to step aside, like parting clouds, until you are able to truly see. Let your visions be a beacon calling you forth. You know, and the singles one, you had that lady with the what you call it? Barnacle? No, the spectacle. You know, the long telescope. Spectacle. It's you know, I've done hours of readings, so I'm dizzy right now. So that's why I'm stumbling around, and it's late. It's 11:30, and I'm just feeling the burn. But you know, it's try to have that outlook for your future, for your life. Then you have flow, like go with the flow, lighten up. Meet Zephyr. She is flexible, flowing, and gentle like a light wind. She intuitively responds to the rhythms of the world around her. When a door opens, she just walks through, easy as a breeze. When the door closes, she circles, eddies, and finds a window to slip silently through. She blooms with the spring and knows how to let go with the fall. She is change, and she welcomes change. Her strength comes not through resistance, but through perfect flow, like a river sculpting the rocks, finding and making space, the space, to keep moving. So it's about releasing. I mean, both need to release, but it's freeing that energy. Because you know, how do you feel when you're in your lowest? You feel like shit, right? How do you feel when you're happy in a good mood? You feel like everything's great. So it's like one is obviously better than the other. You know, and it's about, again, trying to shift our perspective. Any little step you take is positive. Because the things ain't going to be like overnight. But the more you become aware and look at things kind of from a detached, as much as you can, perspective, it allows you to flow better instead of resist. And a lot of resistance comes just from fear. We fight to hold on, and we fear to fight to hold on and fight to let go. You know, because we fear both. And your advice is to know that you're watched over. I allow myself to feel safe and enjoy my life, knowing that heaven is watching over my loved ones and me. You know, let it go to the universe. Always know that they'll provide you what you need. May not be what you want or when you want it, but it'll be what you need. And they want you to step into your power, feminine. I allow my feminine nature to shine brightly as a valuable part of my identity. You know, own thyself. Be ready to take on anything that life throws at you. Know that you have the strength to do it, the grace to do it, the power within you to shift your view. And it says, and even if it's snail races, it's still moving forward. And for both of you, they want you both to have enthusiasm. Whatever I am most passionate about is the direction I will follow. And they want you to open your heart. I allow myself to feel the full range of emotions, especially all the forms of love. Because, fear and love are not the same. It can't be love if it's coming from a place of fear. So, and fear, that's why I said, is it love or is it low self-esteem? Find that within you, that strength. The divine masculine and the divine feminine. Stand in that divinity. Think more of yourself. Don't let that stinking thinking get you down. And stop living in deceptions. Deceiving oneself that we're not good enough, or that we don't have what it takes, or that the world is against us, or any negative thinking. And people also need to, keep mask up. You need to reveal how they feel. Say something. So you can call in your soulmate. But you're not going to be able to do that until you reveal your feelings. Open your heart. And get some chutzpah. Get some enthusiasm, just like the card says. Don't be pessimistic. And on that note, as you can tell, I must have stumbled so many times in my words. Maybe because I'm asking, I can't get the words out. But no, I'm tired. I'm super, super tired. This takes a lot out of you. And I've done four 1-hour readings. So I'm kind of feeling it. But that's the daily drama. So I hope things work out. I wish you love and light and healing and luck and everything. And again, check out the channel for the new uploads. And now I gotta go edit so that I can upload them all so you'll have them tomorrow. So we will sign off. Like and subscribe and share if you haven't already. You know the spiel. Personal reading information is below. Don't check. Woo boy. Don't forget to check the Instagram and the Facebook too, because I post things on there. And on that note, buenas noches. Bye-bye.